the Spirit Sessions podcast. I'm your guide, Katie Silcox, bringing you your weekly self-love soundbite. Join us, where I'll help you find your true spiritual home, where every single aspect of you is holy ground, holy ground, holy ground, holy ground.
This is a Spirit Session podcast with Katie Silcox. Venga chicos, empezamos.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hi everyone, Katie here. This podcast is intended to inspire you, educate you, and most importantly, support you on your journey towards knowing who you really are, that inner self, that inner teacher. I am not a psychologist or a medical doctor and do not offer professional health or medical advice on this podcast. If you are suffering from any kind of psychological or medical issue, please do the right thing and seek help from your qualified health professional. Hello. It's your Ayurveda Gal Friday, Katie here. Oh, are you all up in this New Year energy still? It's January 6th, you all, and today I am so excited to talk with you about archetypal astrology and kind of my take and more of a depth astrological Ayurveda tantric understanding of astrology. Astrology is something that has really exploded in popularity and it's always been popular, but recently really exploded. And I always laugh when I hear these big astrological projections, whether it be online or in a newsletter or on a YouTube. It's like every single astrologer says the same thing. Have you ever felt that way? And like no shade to any of them. Like I have deep respect for those that deserve deep respect. But do you ever get the feeling where you're like, every single astrologer is saying the same thing? And that is, there are going to be a lot of challenges coming up and big opportunities for transformation. If you've ever felt that way and you're like, can we just have an astrology and it never happens? Do you ever just kind of want an astrology that's like, hey, so for the next 2 weeks, it's going to be super easy for all of us planetarily, and especially you. You're going to have lots of ease and love. It's nothing bad is actually going to happen. And yeah, just enjoy. See you in 2 weeks. Like it never is that. It's always, there's going to be this thing that happens. It's going to challenge you, but guess what? It's a growth opportunity. And I think really getting out of the minutia for a moment, it's super important to remember that from a tantric perspective, how do I want to say this with the most respect? Astrology is not a problem to be afraid of. Astrology is not a dark force out there or born under a bad sign. I want to say this with all the love and respect, but when you are working in the light, when you are calling in higher power, when you are actively opening your heart to love, there is no force that can overcome you. And so that's a tall glass of sweet tea, right? That's a tall order. And can it be helpful for us to understand, just like the tides of the moon, of the ocean, of the seasons, is it helpful to know what's coming in the weather? Yeah, for sure. It helps us navigate the boat, right? But we don't want to become obsessed with the Weather Channel, right? Do you ever feel like, I just want to go outside and enjoy? And so finding that balance between knowing what's ahead and the energies and the tendencies and the flavor and the weather patterns, I think can be really helpful. And I even think you don't have to believe in astrology at all, right? You can just be like, let me use this as a Rorschach test that I can throw up on the wall and watch the way that my psychology and my body and my emotions respond to what I'm hearing. And the more you align with your own subtle energy and your own soul, the more I don't really need astrology as much as like a daily thing I'm checking on because I can feel, right? I can kind of just feel. I can feel myself, I can feel the collective. And so we're going to talk about the tendencies of the weather pattern according to Jyotish astrology, especially, which is the astrology that Tantra and Ayurveda are connected to. But first, before we do that, I want to talk about the more important thing, and that is, listener, you've heard me say it. We only have a few more days until level 1 Ayurveda school begins. I can feel you. I can feel the women that have already signed up. If that's you, OMG, yay. Make sure you shout out yourself as a podcast listener in the chat. On the 14th of January, we begin. It is an Ayurvedic health coaching platform. We're going to teach you how to be an Ayurveda health coach, one of the best in the world at that. But it's also lady life school. It's soul school. It's feel more, do more, be more, love more school. It's amazing. It makes me cry. I'm so freaking proud of it. My team is stellar. My teachers are the best in the world. And we are the world's only feminine form, woman centered Ayurveda academy. You will leave an Ayurveda coach. It's not only an Ayurveda academy, it's a best friends circle that you'll probably have forever if you bring yourself to it fully. And, the biggest blocks we get from people are twofold. One, can I afford it? And two, do I have time for it? On the affordability level, we have tons of payment plans and we have several needs-based scholarships left. They're partial scholarships. It's super affordable. Hit us up, info@theshaktischool.com. If your heart is feeling like you need to be in Lady Life School, that you want a team around you, a group of women from all over the world around you to ignite your soul's journey, swasta, to be situated in the heart of who you really are in 2026, guess what? You need support. You can't do it by yourself. It's not possible. Sorry, tried it, didn't work. Thousands of women have tried it. It doesn't work. We need a community, and we need a community where we don't feel like we're breaking the rules and we don't feel like we're being told what to do. And yet we are, but from a place of us empowering ourselves to hear the voice of what our soul wants us to do. This place is secret because it is like an open secret. It's like a secret lady club. Don't let money be an issue. Hit up my team, info@theshaktischool.com. Like I said, we have several needs-based scholarships, partial scholarships left. Our full scholarships are gone. But hit us up for payment plans. We make it happen for you. Secondly, do I have time for this school? Every woman that signs up is real. She's like you. She's like me. She's got a life. She's got a job. Many of our women have children. Many of our women are new moms. We've had pregnant women sign up for this. We've had women sign up and get pregnant. Very common, by the way, when you start to get into the Shakti. We have real people. Life is busy. And we have women that are like, my life is not busy. And we like secretly are jealous of those women. And what's so great is this is both a live course that you can take every Wednesday from 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern time live. It's super fun. I'm your teacher for the first 2 months, and then I pop in and out all throughout the year. I'm one of your main teachers, but we have teachers from all over the world. And the live energy, I'm not going to lie, it's amazing. We want you there live if you can be. But I would say over half of the women that come to Ayurveda school, they don't come live. They do it when they can. They fit it into their busy lives and their busy schedules, and they make it happen, and they come live if they can. But this is very much meant to be a self-guided course that you can integrate into your daily life with ease. Don't doubt if it feels real for you. Come this year, 2026. And let's now talk about the astrology of the time and why it is a powerful year for us, for all of us, but especially for doing something like Ayurveda school. Ayurveda school is a portal. It's a powerful entry into an upgrade, an energy upgrade, a DNA upgrade, as the young mystics call it. This is the year to get out of the old way of doing things. Raise your hand, podcast listeners, If you're like, oh my God, it feels like I'm thinking the same thoughts every day, I'm living out the same patterns, I'm doing things, I'm nonstop working, but it's not getting different or easier. That is the mental body. And I've always been really like comfortable in the intellect and in the thinking world, and it's my go-to. It's where I feel safe, it's where I feel like I have some control. I know some of you listening, I know you because I know the women that listen to this and come to Shakti school, like, you guys get in your head and you're usually really smart, or we think we are, right? I just want you to know, like, overthinking and thinking in general is beautiful. The thinking in general is beautiful. Overthinking, not so much. It's not the fullness of who you are. And my teacher always would say to me, we think our thoughts are so real, and we don't want to touch this woo woo stuff of like our primal Shakti, right? Our energy and our heart's knowingness and our etheric templates and like all this woo woo stuff. We don't want to do that. That's like not real. That's not as real. And then we go back to the real, quote, real world of like doing stuff and thinking and planning and not doing stuff and laying around and numbing out and watching TV and. Okay, so there's this whole other dimensionality to you. That's what 2026 is about. It is about last year, and we're still in it for a few more weeks, and then we're going to hit the ground. Last year was the year of serpentine energy, like shedding the old skin in 2026, especially like March, April, May. That's like the energy of the horse, like we talked about in a past podcast. So it's like a big, unusual and powerful shift that goes from closing doors and like your old contracts. What does that mean? It means like the old way that you're used to doing everything with everybody. The way you're used to relating to your partner, the way you're used to relating to your kids, the way you're used to relating to yourself, money, all those old contracts, right? Especially karmic contracts, meaning I got to go in there. I got to do this thing that I've done a million times. I got to repeat it over and over and over again. And guess what? I'm going to do the same thing I always do, and something new will happen. And it doesn't. And then you're like, oh, it didn't work. Well, let me try again. Maybe with the same person in the same way over and over and over again. Like, have you ever had a fight with your man or your partner, and you're like, oh my God, we are in the same dynamic we've been in over and over and over again. And I feel like I don't even know what we're talking about, but I'm expecting something good to happen, right? That's last year's energy. And right now, we're supposed to be like, and my heart is like opening as I'm telling you guys this because it is so humbling to the ego. It often requires feeling things that we haven't felt, seeing things about ourselves that we haven't seen, admitting things that are not super yummy town about ourselves that we haven't admitted. Blind spots, right? And your friends and your boyfriends and your partners are like, oh, yeah, I've seen that about you, homie. That's 2025 burning. I mean, y'all know my house burned down. By the way, I'm getting text messages, emails, Instagram DMs. By the way, I read them if you DM me on Instagram. Y'all, thank you. I'm getting messages now from like the smartest, loving people because they're like, hey, I know you got a lot of messages like 2 months ago, but how are you now? And like, that is the 2025. It's like your house burned down and now you're picking up the ashes and the pieces. And now is like actually when you're having to see what's left from the rubble. And so this is about closing doors and reconfiguring if we take this opportunity to personally have a revolution, but also societally and culturally. There's like this momentum psychologically, socially, spiritually. We close the doors. It's like a threshold year, this 2026. It's like culminating a big old cycle where our beliefs and our conditioning reach their tipping point. Let me just describe what this feels like for me. And what the ancients say, it feels like your soul has become weary, tired of certain things. And you're just like, you finally get so tired that you shift, you upgrade. That's the thing. You can't bypass it. And there's a lot often in that seeing your blind spots and seeing your conditioning, there's so much grief. I'm amazed. I'm like, what is all this grief? I'm not even sad about anything. What the F? And you don't have to know what it is. So just know there might be anger, there might be fear, there might be grief, but that's good. As we open to it, we transform the shadow of being a victim to being free. This is a big evolutionary current for 2026. It's freedom. And go forth, young woman, and prosper. So a big focus on relationships right now, emotional honesty, embodiment, vulnerability, hashtag Brene Brown. Yup. Fastest path to decoding your own shadow is just sitting with what is here. And homegirl, I know that can be hard because sometimes I sit down, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to open to what's here and I can't even feel anything. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Or I'm like, oh, I feel fine, but I'm not able to access something that's been hidden from me or dormant for so long, right? And the more I just sit and the more I stay and the more I'm open and honest, the more slowly, it's like, oh, all this grief is here, all this emotional honesty. And here's the other piece I want to share with you. And this is super challenging, but we're going to do it, you guys. We have to. We're here to do it. I am going to open to this feeling in me, irrespective of the outcome, irrespective of if I get the money, irrespective of if I get the job, irrespective of if I get the love from my partner that I don't feel like I'm getting, irrespective of if I, get the praise or the accolades or the degree. Like, I'm going to do this no matter what the outcome. You know what I'm saying? That's where you erase that way that all of us are subtly manipulative and subtly aggressive with reality. It's like, oh, I'll open, but I'm doing it so I can feel good and you'll like me more. That's gone, right? It's like embodied presence, emotional honesty, non-blaming, non-manipulating, no matter what the outcome. This is the turning point in human consciousness that I think is coming forward really strongly in 2026. So we're closing one door, but we're opening the inner door. And in Ayurveda, from the lens of Jyotish, which means to bring light to, here's the great news in 2026. Jupiter, which is a big badass planet, is going to be in Gemini. And around May, June 2026, going into Cancer. And then later in the year in Leo. I love Leo. I'm double Leo and double Cancer, by the way. And that's super fun, as you can imagine, opposites. So Jupiter in Gemini is like right now. We're going to be starting the year focusing on communication, learning, teaching, and mental expansion, intellectual expansion, curiosity, networking, studying, and skills building. Talk to your mama about January. Ayurveda school. Not trying to sell my course, but you know I am, girl. This is the time to start Ayurveda school. It's so exciting. Jupiter is going to bring communication, learning, teaching, mental expansion, curiosity, networking, study, skills building. That is literally what we do. That is Ayurveda school. And then May, like throughout May, June, we're going to go into Cancer. And that's that mama love sign, babe. We're going to shift towards even more emotional wisdom, family, home, feeling of belonging, nurturing, inner security, protection instincts, right? Soft crab, hard outer shell. We're going to open up to that softness, right? While setting up good boundaries, our home, our food sadhanas, our sense of safety and security, protection. Like that is so perfect for May and June. And then Jupiter is going to move into Leo, which is all about expression, leadership, confidence, self-expression, and big, bold new projects. So I'm just looking at this through the lens of us who are taking the journey in 2026 in Ayurveda school. It's like learn, communicate, connect with all these new cool people. May, June, we're going to feel it all because we got to do that. And by the time we're done with Ayurveda school, I'm going to be prepped and ready to rock to express boldly, right? Leadership, confidence. I always talk about Ayurveda leadership in our school. So the year is set up for us, my friends. We've also got Saturn in Pisces, and Saturn is the archetype of the disciplinarian. It feels like he's a negative planet, but he's not. He's the part of reality that says you need to do your non-negotiables daily. I just went and did a neti pot. Girl, I don't like doing neti pot. I'm going to get on the biomat in a minute and do castor oil on my belly and rose all over my body. I don't need to be doing Abhyanga like if my ego chooses, but my soul needs it. So that's Saturn. It's saying structure, but I'm doing this because of compassion. And so this planet in Jyotish we call Shani is about discipline, maturity, boundaries, and it's in Pisces. So that's like compassion, but pushing us to ground our spiritual ideals in like practical life, long-term planning, deep inner maturity. Like, how do we stabilize our spiritual practices? Because for me, there can sometimes feel like a split between our spiritual life and our daily life. And that's really no bueno. Like, you want to have patience, perseverance, pacing, not rushing, but integrating everything we're learning on that soul level into like the fabric, right? That's Tantra. And then we have this Rahu Ketu axis. So Rahu and Ketu are these nodes in astrology, the north and south nodes, and they are a doozy, man. Like Rahu and Ketu, like one of them has no head and one of them has no body. So it's like all the ways you're going to get your ego, your head chopped off. And then no bodies, like all the ways that we feel like disconnection and disembodiment, that they're rough. They're not fun, but they're really where we get our deepest lessons, right? And so Rahu is going to be in Aquarius, and this is about innovation, community building, technology, unconventional thinking, like breaking out of the old way and bringing in new structures, new ways of doing things. Ketu in Leo is inviting us to detach from our ego-centered ambitions and invite in real, purposeful, soul level, higher level, heart-centered contribution. So like, I am less focused on how this is going to help me and mine and more on like, how can I be of service to the greater reality? So that's a big one. And then at the end of the year, it's going to move into Aquarius. And that's about big time, like the everybody, not just us. So right now, December to March, we are invited into a retrograde that's accessing inner review. Right now is a wonderful time to really, like I said, same as that beginning part of this talk, like what is the old way of doing things and why am I trying to keep that going? And it often is not what we think it is. So what we think worked well, what we got validation from in the past, what we got intellectual accolades or stimulation from in the past, like communication styles, even the way we think about learning, right? We have to ask people in Shakti school, like, hey, we're going to learn a traditional way. You're going to have books and courses and exams and level 1, great structure that many people are familiar with, but we're also going to learn in a totally different way. We're going to learn through our heart. We're going to learn through our energy. We're going to learn through our body and our calm and our silence and our intuition and our friends. Like, we're going to learn in different ways. And that is like, what belief systems need to be let go of or refined, and what wisdom from the past was valid and needs to be held and revisited. And so the core energetics for 2026 is that kind of horse energy that's going and doing but also balancing with that inner growth, right? Inner knowingness. Saturn, we need real world discipline. So right now, strategically planning, steadiness, long-term vision, and not reactivity or impulsivity. Yeah. So like, what do I want my life to look like a year from now? And that's why I'm always like, with our course, level 1, we are going to help you really, really systematize. You'll have the tools, the techniques, so that a year from now, we aren't just setting a New Year's intention that we forget by February 15th, right? We are going to be giving a structure through which your Shakti, right, your highest energy can flow through. We've got big time karmic activation and dissolution opportunities, right? Big purpose being fulfilled through breaking old patterns. We're not trying to bring in anything new. We're just clearing out what is not supportive. And I really love this. Another big theme is integration over achievement, meaning less worrying about the outer goal and more opening to soul level shadow integration, meaning success is not going to be measured by just like a number on a page or the results externally, but how integrated, conscious, loving, purposeful, integrity filled your actions are, right? And so how you can start to work with this now is really get into your morning practice, whatever it is that you do for energy, for clarity, for emotional balance. We do energy-based meditation at the Shakti School. You're going to learn all about the basics of energy and energy meditation in our level 1 course. Prep your food in the morning if you can. Really, grounding foods, steady sleep, friendship rituals, exercise. That is super important, right? That's that Saturn energy. Use the first half of this year for learning and the second half for heart-aligned expression. And that is exactly what we're going to be doing this year in level 1 Ayurveda school. It's all about Jupiter retrograde for reflection, inner work, and then let's go energy for the latter part of the year. So there's just so much planetary support for what we happen to be doing over here. It's a really juicy time to be in Ayurveda school. And I hope you'll be with us. So if you're interested, please connect with us. We've got our email info@theshaktischool.com, links below to get into the course right now. I am not somebody that wants to have a coaching call. I don't want to have a Zoom call. I just know what I'm going to do and I click on the button and I do it. I know there are so many people that are like, I want to talk to a real person, and I totally get that. And so we have beautiful, powerful, loving women sitting ready to talk to you. All my coaching gals are available if you want to have a quick call, because some of you are different than me and you're like, nope, I want to have a talk with somebody. Are these people even for real? And if you do, please see below. We've got our coaching call. Remember, we have several partial scholarships, needs-based, available still, info@theshaktischool.com. I hope to see you in the classroom January 14th. Let's go. A big special thanks to Kevin Carlisle of Goodbye Gemini, who wrote this beautiful podcast music, and to DJ Juan Pablo Jimenez in southern Spain for mixing it and making it magic.